Welcome to All Motors Brands, the place where machines meet adrenaline and technology takes flight. If you love everything from military marvels to supercars and high-performance machines, this is your destination. So hit that subscribe button and buckle in, because today we're taking off with one of the most advanced pieces of technology ever engineered by humankind, the F-35 Lightning II. The story of the F-35 begins with the Joint Strike Fighter program. Back in the early 1990s, the U.S. Department of Defense wanted to replace a variety of aging aircraft, the F-16 Fighting Falcon, the AV-8B Harrier, and the A-10 Thunderbolt II. Instead of building separate aircraft for the Air Force, Navy, and Marines, the idea was to design a single aircraft that could be adapted for all three services, cutting development costs while maximizing performance. Enter Lockheed Martin, one of the defense giants that would take on the challenge of designing a stealthy, multirole, single-engine fighter that could dominate the battlefield for decades. The result? The F-35 Lightning II, a fifth-generation stealth fighter with variants capable of short takeoff and vertical landing, carrier operations, and traditional runway missions. But building a plane that can do all that is no small feat. It took decades of research, development, and testing. The program has cost over $1.7 trillion over its lifetime, and yes, you heard that right, that's trillion with a T. But what does that investment give you? Let's break it down. The F-35 comes in three variants, the F-35A for the U.S. Air Force, the F-35B for the Marine Corps, and the F-35C for the Navy. Each has different strengths tailored to their service branch. The F-35A is the conventional takeoff and landing version, lighter and more agile. The F-35B has a short takeoff and vertical landing system, allowing it to operate from amphibious assault ships and forward operating bases. And the F-35C is built for carrier operations, with larger wings, more fuel capacity, and rugged landing gear to withstand the brutal forces of catapult launches and arrested landings. But no matter the version, all F-35s share the same DNA. At the heart of the F-35 is stealth. It's not just about hiding from radar, it's about avoiding detection entirely. The F-35's shape, its internal weapons bays, and its radar-absorbent materials make it nearly invisible to enemy radars. Combine that with its electronic warfare suite and you've got a jet that can strike targets, jam enemy systems, and leave before anyone knows it was there. And then there's the cockpit, a pilot's dream. The F-35 doesn't have a traditional dashboard full of gauges and switches. Instead, it features a giant touch screen, voice command controls, and a helmet that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. The pilot's helmet displays real-time data right on the visor. Want to look through the jet? You can, thanks to the distributed aperture system, which gives the pilot a full 360-degree view through the aircraft by combining input from multiple cameras around the fuselage. Let's talk speed and performance. The F-35 can hit speeds of Mach 1.6, that's over 1,200 miles per hour. It has a combat radius of over 600 miles and can carry a combination of air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground bombs, and even nuclear weapons. And thanks to its advanced radar and sensor fusion technology, the F-35 can detect enemy aircraft before they even know it's there. It doesn't just see the battlefield, it owns it. But none of this comes cheap. The price tag of the F-35 has been one of the most talked about aspects of the program. So let's dive into the numbers. As of 2025, the average unit cost of an F-35A, the Air Force version, is around $82 million per jet. The F-35B costs about $109 million, and the carrier-based F-35C comes in around $102 million. Those are just the flyaway costs, the price of the aircraft itself without accounting for training, maintenance, spare parts, and operational expenses. When you factor all that in, the total cost of owning and operating an F-35 over its projected 66-year lifecycle could exceed $1.6 trillion. So why spend that much on a fighter jet? Because air superiority is everything. The F-35 isn't just a fighter, it's a flying sensor platform, a stealth strike bomber, an electronic warfare system, and a command and control hub all rolled into one. It's designed to operate in contested environments, penetrate advanced enemy defenses, and share data with other aircraft, ground units, and naval forces in real time. It's not just a weapon. It's a networked platform that brings the entire battlefield together. Over a dozen countries have bought or plan to buy the F-35. From the United Kingdom and Israel to Japan, South Korea, and Australia, the Lightning II is becoming the standard for NATO and allied air forces. And each of those countries brings their own modifications, upgrades, and training programs to the table. It's not just an American fighter, it's a global powerhouse. Now let's take a deeper look at the technologies that make the F-35 so revolutionary. Starting with the Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, the most powerful fighter engine ever built. Producing over 40,000 pounds of thrust, this engine not only gives the F-35 its supersonic speed but also enables the F-35B to hover and land vertically. And the F-35's fuel-efficient design allows it to fly longer missions without the need for external fuel tanks that would compromise stealth. The jet's radar system, the N/APG-81 radar, offers long-range detection, ground mapping, and electronic attack capabilities. It can track targets on land, sea, and air with incredible precision. Combine that with the electro-optical targeting system, EOTS, and the pilot can identify, lock onto, and engage multiple targets with pinpoint accuracy. The F-35 also features sensor fusion, which means all the data from radar, cameras, infrared sensors, and electronic systems are combined into a single picture for the pilot. This gives unmatched situational awareness. Pilots can see everything, track everything, and respond instantly. That's not just a feature, it's the difference between victory and defeat in modern air combat. The electronic warfare system is another game-changer. The F-35 can jam enemy radars, block communications, and spoof enemy missiles. This means it doesn't just fly undetected, it can also protect other aircraft flying nearby. It's the ultimate team player in a modern aerial battle. And then there's the software. The F-35 isn't just hardware, it's one of the most software-intensive jets ever created. With over 8 million lines of code running its mission systems alone, the F-35 is constantly being updated, patched, and improved. Lockheed Martin continues to push updates that enhance performance, fix bugs, and adapt to new threats. It's like a flying iPhone, only it's $100 million and it can drop a bomb. Pilots who've flown legacy fighters like the F-16 or F/A-18 say the difference is night and day. Training in the F-35 is also evolving. Pilots spend hours in next-generation simulators that mimic real-world combat, giving them experience in handling dogfights, surface-to-air missile threats, and electronic warfare scenarios before ever touching the real jet. And it's not just the pilot who's transformed. Ground crews have access to the Autonomic Logistics Information System, or ALIS, which monitors the jet's systems and helps predict maintenance needs. This ensures better readiness, faster repairs, and lower long-term costs, at least in theory. Like any complex system, ALIS has had its share of problems, which is why it's being replaced by a newer system called ODIN, the Operational Data Integrated Network. Even with all its complexity, the F-35 was built to be user-friendly. A single engine. Fewer mechanical systems. Automated checks. Streamlined maintenance routines. That's important when a global fleet of over 3,000 jets needs to be maintained efficiently across continents. Now let's address the criticism. Some say the F-35 is too expensive. Too complex. Too many delays. Too many bugs. And it's true, the program has had its issues. Delays in development. Software glitches. Political battles over budget overruns. At times, it's felt like a flying soap opera. But step back and look at what's been achieved: a jet that can hover, land on carriers, evade radar, deliver precision strikes, coordinate battlefield data, and dominate the skies. That doesn't come easy. Or cheap. And yet, every year, the F-35 gets better. Prices per unit are coming down. New upgrades are being added. Partner nations are contributing to the ecosystem. And pilots around the world are learning to unleash its full power. The Block 4 upgrade, for example, is adding new weapons, improved sensors, and enhanced computing capabilities, making the F-35 even deadlier. So what does the future hold? The F-35 is expected to serve until at least 2070. That's over half a century of dominance. And with upcoming tech like artificial intelligence, drone wingmen, and advanced hypersonic weapons, the F-35 is being prepared for battles we haven't even imagined yet. In conclusion, the F-35 Lightning II is more than just a fighter jet. It's a symbol of what's possible when cutting-edge technology, global cooperation, and military innovation come together. It's expensive, yes. Controversial at times, sure. But it's also unmatched. There is no other aircraft that combines stealth, speed, firepower, and brains like the F-35. Thanks for joining us on this high-speed deep dive into the F-35 Lightning II. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep explorations of the world's most incredible machines, from fighter jets and tanks to supercars and trucks, make sure to subscribe to all Motors brands. We've got a runway full of content coming your way, and trust us, you don't want to miss the next takeoff.